Hi, this is Dodd from Weeknights on WCSG. A few years ago, Christian Parenting published an article called, "Hey Mom, why do they call it Good Friday?" And I think that's a great question for kids to ask, but not only kids, right? Because most people would consider that to be one of the greatest misnomers or oxymorons of all time for the term good to be applied to the suffering that Christ experienced on that day. My first thought has always been, well, it certainly wasn't good for Jesus, but it certainly is good for those who recognize that that's when the Lamb of God paid the ultimate sacrifice for the sins of the world, and when we recognize and confess Him as the Lord of our own lives. From a language standpoint, many people consider the Old English expression of good, meaning holy, as in Holy Friday, and that makes sense. I think it's also reflective of God's good news, gospel plan of salvation to everyone who follows Him. Would encourage you to take a look at Luke 23 in the Bible, the whole chapter, and then pay special attention to the words of Jesus. In verse 34, He says, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." And then consider the forgiveness and mercy that the Lord demonstrated on that very first Good Friday, and how that same mercy and forgiveness applies to you and me today.